Hello, everybody.
To your cars.
Welcome to Nazareth, Pennsylvania at the Nazareth Speedway for the Wawa 300. This is the 8th race of the NASCAR Eco Energy Series. We're at the Nazareth Speedway, like I said, in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Also, like I said, this is a .946 mile tri-oval. My fault. This is a .946 mile tri-oval. It's got 5 turns, kind of. Although I don't know what it depends really on what you consider a turn here. Like it's never like it's never ever been like consistent. So yeah. I'm joined by Kieran Detmar. Hi.
Hello.
I don't know how much you've seen of Nazareth, but what do you expect for this race, which is our first, I guess. Well, actually, technically our second short track race of the season.
Yeah, so definitely a track on the shorter end, so I expect probably a lot of dominance from the inside line, so making sure your car is set up well to really hug that inside line through the corner is probably going to be part of the key to success here over these 159 laps.
Yeah, the inside is going to be the strong lane. You're going to see guys probably slip up off the groove, and when you see that, they're going to take advantage. Let's go through the starting grid for this race. Row 1, it is the 63 of Caden Williams and the 36 of Zoe Moore, the two teammates and the lovebirds on the front row. Fairly fitting, I guess. Row 2, it's the 53 Rocky DeLuca and the 55 Naomi Davenport. She had a pretty good run out at Texas last time out, finished in finished 4th, yeah. Row 3, it's Ryan Silva in the 18, second in points after a 6th place finish at Texas, and the 17 of Misty Winter. Row 4, the 58 of Asher Amari, and the 40 of Derek McNamara. Row 5, the 29 of Adam Townsend trying to fight his way back into a wildcard position, and the 23 of Ricky Percat. Row 6 is the 21, Jaquan LaBreakfast, who was the points leader until a couple races ago, sits 3rd now, and the 22 of DeQuavius Bingleton, a couple weeks removed from his win at Atlanta. Row 7, the 96 Mikoto Iwai, and the 24 of Anton Alvarez. Row 8 is the 42 of Jason Kay, Alvarez's teammate, and the 10 of Joshua Lyons. Row 9, two teammates, the 9 of Amani Wandayo and the 99 of Mauricio Velbolst. Row 10, our most recent winner, Kansas City, got a second win of the season at Texas, and the 39 of Arenia Toso. Row 11 is the 14 of Casey Keaton and the 95 of Bart Seiler. Row 12, the 92, Michi Kowalska and the 8 of Kleber Zavi. Row 13, the Willow Springs winner, Latanya Gray and the 4 of JT Boyd. Row 15, the 19 of Akia Tejima and the 59 of Nathan Buchanan. Sorry, that's row 14. Real row 15 is the 67 of Indiana and the 69 of Dick Ball. Row 17 is the 11 of Kyle Bell and the 70 of Jackson Schwiss. Okay, no, that's row 16. This is row 17. It's the 75 of Matthias Albright, the current points leader, and the 98 of Christian Ross, the Homestead winner. Row 18, the 7, Jean Lacroix, and the 32 of Colton Wilson. Row 19, the 97 of Olathe and the 51 of Takamoto Aya. And in row 20, the 94 Casey Johnston and the 12 of Alex Diudon. National Anthem of the United... God. So, well, you know what? I'm just gonna press play so we can start the race. Never mind.
Drivers, start your... Drivers, to your cars.
The drivers have been commanded. I would say something, but it might be in my best interests to not. So we have 40 cars in the field. We got a great show coming up. Who do you think is going to win this race, Kieran? Who's your pick?
I am, let's see here. I'd say certainly I'll go with the 53 car for sure, starting near the front there. And on the inside, even more crucially. So, got confidence in him.
Long race.
True.
So we can see, we'll see what happens. That's Rocky DeLuca in the 53 car. The pace car rolls off, and here comes the field rolling to the green flag. Williams and Moore will lead them to it, and we're green from Nazareth. We might see them already take a good look at going through wide, but looks like they're going to keep it stably too wide through turns 1 and 2. Williams will hold off Moore for now, and DeLuca will get up to second. And the first lap is completed with Caden Williams out front. Here comes Ryan Silva trying to get by Zoe Moore. Is it really worth it? And Moore can't get to the bottom. She's stuck up top right now. Can she cut down in front of Townsend? No, not quite. Nope. That's the pace car.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could tell. So Zoe Moore struggling to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. See if she can get down there this time. No, she won't be able to. And now LeBreakfast will try to take that spot away.
Seems like she has a bit more confidence on that outside than she should have going into turn 3, and that's what keeps costing her.
Yeah, maybe. Well, she'll get the bottom this time, so she'll stay ahead of the 21. Relatively stable out front for Caden Williams. Davenport slips up, and that's going to let Jason Kay get around the 55. And his teammate Alvarez is going to follow him through. As the tires start to wear out, you're going to see these guys slide around a lot more, get a little more desperate. And you might see some of these guys, I don't know, crash. They might ouch. Where's our points leader? Dick Ball has blown an engine, apparently, and Kleb Razavi has had a tire failure. Big trouble for the 69 of Dick Ball. And he came into this race 5th in points. Silva's starting to close up on DeLuca here. We might see a fight for second fairly soon. Fastest slap right now is the 29 of Adam Townsend. My voice briefly died for a second. Oops. Pretty well close to single filed out here at the front of the field, so now's when we're going to start to see how much patience will play into this race. K is all over the back bumper of LeBreakfast. He hasn't been able to do anything. Not yet, at least. There's Ricky Percat trying to go around Mikoto Iwai. 96 got shuffled out of line. Oh, the 40 car got the wall. Ouch. He's gonna drop some positions now. And we had a spinner on the back straightaway. I believe it was Joshua Lyons. No caution. We're gonna stay green. He's got some serious damage to the left side of that car, but... I guess it's not... I guess it wasn't big enough to warrant a caution.
Or so.
94 of Casey Johnson also came to pit road. He had an oil leak. That might have been unrelated. And Alvarez has now gotten around Zoe Moore, so the 24 moves up to the 6th position. Alvarez has turned the fastest lap so far of the race, so after Alvarez had a massive crash at Texas last time out, he's back. Seems like he's got something he's working towards. Argentinian social media is going to be hyped. There's one Dio now trying to get around Davenport. Down the inside goes the 9 on the 55. One Dio started pretty far back in the field. I think she started in about the 10th row. She's already made her way up to the top 10, so about 10 positions gained for the Peruvian driver. And now the 24 is starting to close up on the 29. There goes Alvarez on Townsend. He's going to make the pass, and he's going to make it look easy. Takes 5th away.
Certainly the type of run he wants early, being right around 10th place in points.
And Kyle Bell had a .998 engine failure and retired from the race.
Yeah, I imagine so. Certainly not what he needs after everything that's already happened to him so far this season.
He may be last in points, and he may not
Indeed.
be improving from that position. Because
Not
he's going to
in
end
the
up 38.
slightest.
Ouch. We'll see if these guys can try and maybe make a push around the 53, but so far DeLuca's kind of been sitting pretty steady in the 2nd position. Anton Alvarez has looked real strong. I will say the 24 looks like the fastest car, at least in this early segment of the race.
Yep, still a long ways to go though.
That is true. He's got the fastest lap by about 0.2 of a second. But now we're starting to see the tires die off, and now things might change on that front. They've already lost 0.2 in terms of tire wear, so... And we're only about 20 laps in. And you can go about 100 laps on tires here. Well, you can go about 100 laps on fuel here, I should say.
Yeah, the tires potentially not quite that much if they wear at this rate.
Yeah. Matthias Albright, points leader, started way back in the field. He's already up to 15th. Really solid drive for him so far.
And he'll need that with his 2 closest rivals in points both being inside the top 10 right now.
Yep. Ryan Silva's 2nd. And Juquan LeBreakfast running 8th.
Does seem like the 63 here has pulled away a couple of tenths.
I wonder if it's the 63 pulling away or if it's the 53 kind of holding these guys up. Look at Alvarez looking underneath Amare here. Like, the 24 looks real fast.
Yeah, for sure.
Amare gave a little...
Right on the bumper of this 58.
Amare blocked him a little bit. Ooh, Wandayo got shuffled out of line. That's gonna send her a little. That's gonna send her out of the top 10, and that's gonna be the 92 of Michi Kowalska in. You know, where Kowalska sits in terms of the chase, and a run like this would be really crucial. Same for Naomi Davenport in the 55 car.
Yeah, certainly.
There goes Alvarez around Amare for 4th. Some very good passing and action in this race, just not for the lead. Which unfortunately is all that matters, because if there's no passing for the lead, then that means it's a boring race.
Indeed, potentially.
Indeed, potentially.
Yep.
Yup. There's Aletha,
Yep.
fresh off her CTE from Texas. Albright passing Akia Tajima for 14th. And I think there's kind of a point in the run where it dies off a little bit, and then you'll see the tires kind of start to fall off a little bit. And then it'll start to become good again.
Mistakes. You saw the 18 there kind of run a bit high in the corner that last time. Now the 24
runs a little high that time. This race is boring. Can we talk about politics? So the Israel...
Let's not quite go there.
I'm not doing that. Trust me.
I think we'd rather talk about brain rot than talk about that.
If I was gonna do that, I would just go to Twitter.
Yeah. Alvarez drawn right to the back of Silva here.
24 is there, just not able to do anything right now. I almost said they're gonna catch a lap car, and then I realized that was the 63. Here comes Alvarez.
Oh.
3rd place. He takes it away.
Yep.
Alvarez on a charge. There's Wandayo now trying to pass Davenport. I think Davenport might have gotten shuffled out of line. Because Kowalska's up to 10th.
Albright in a couple of corners here.
Yeah, Albright's going to pass his teammate. Yes, NASCAR Man and Russia, their teams use the same number font, but they're not related, like, at all. Oh my god, look at this killer battle for, not even for position. Oh, they're cooking.
It's certainly action on track, at least. At least for a couple corners.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Marisha Vebels to the 99, not having a great race. 34th. Don't ask why I'm focusing on her. And then I'm going to focus on the 81. The 81's pretty far back, too. 25th spot for LaTanya Gray. And Alvarez is already on the bumper of DeLuca.
Here he goes.
He looked into turn 1. Not going to be quite there.
He's still kind of there.
The best
I think
spot
he
you're
just
gonna
needs to
see.
keep waiting.
I think the best spot you're gonna see for these guys to try to make a pass is into turn 3. Like right here. Alvarez had to back
Slipped a
off.
bit high that time.
But yeah, right there is gonna be the best passing opportunity, I believe. There
Just
goes
like right
K.
there.
And K's gonna drop at least 2 positions because Keaton's gonna try to take the inside. Ooh, Kowalski got the wall.
Oh, that might be more than.
I thought they were gonna go 3 wide. I almost exploded and died. And she held the position. Sure, why not?
Impressive. Now that'll cost 14 a spot in the backup.
Yeah. Wandio's going to get around Keaton. It's going to move Wandio up to 11th. Albright's actually dropped back to 15th because Ricky Percat got around him. Up front, it's still Caden Williams. Williams has led every lap so far.
It's held a solid roughly 6/10 gap for quite a few laps now.
I'd be curious as to what that gap will do if Alvarez is able to get around DeLuca. Because the 24 is definitely fast, and I think he's probably faster than the 53.
I mean, certainly he's definitely seemed good so far this race at pulling up to the back of cars, but pulling up to them and actually getting by them are 2 completely different stories here.
Absolutely. Oh, here he goes.
Oh, but he might have a chance here. Yep, to the inside.
Took it to the bottom, and he's going to make it stick, and Anton Alvarez moves up to 2nd spot. But DeLuca is giving a look, trying to maybe fight back here? Alvarez gets such a great pull on corner exit, though.
Yep, settle in for a lap or 2 here, and then we'll see what he can do to catch up to the leader.
He's already starting to gap the 53, and he's starting to close that gap up. He gained a 10th that lap.
1/10.
Very nice driving from Alvarez so far through this race. Check further back in the field, it's a little more calamitous. I think Albright hit the wall because he's got a big tire mark on the right side of that car. Being passed by Kansas City right now, who's our most recent winner. Kowalski's coming to the pit road. And so is Jason K. I wonder if those two made some sort of contact. And they have to pit for some reason. Because those two were both in the top 10. And they've both come to pit road now, so that's a bit surprising. Although this could be an attempt at big brain strategy. I don't know though.
See it.
Yeah, that was definitely damage repair because they spent they spent a lot of extra time on pit road.
I don't see how it could have been strategy because I'm sure they would have had to 2-stop.
Yeah, they would have to 2-stop. I mean, that mostly makes...
We saw there Alvarez had caught the back of 63 that last lap, but then ran high in turn 3 and gave up some of that time back.
See if he can get back to him. Yeah, he's closing up pretty well.
Yeah. Say from what I've seen so far, he's definitely fastest.
And the caution is out.
Cars, so well, that'll change things.
Why is the caution out? Did we just have a caution for nothing? I think we just had a caution for nothing. Yup, that's awesome. Yeah, there's a shower. The caution is out for rain, guys. Brief shower moving through the track. And everybody's coming to pit road, unsurprisingly. The free pass car will be the 94 of Casey Keaton, so... Let's see how everybody does in terms of the pit stops here. Oh, Moore hit into the 53 on pit road there. Yep, this is a good pit road.
Yeah.
Oh, Alvarez lost a spot to DeLuca in the pits. And the 63 keeps the lead on out of pit road. Oh, there was big contact
there.
55 and the
Looks
71.
like that looked like there was right side damage on the 55 there.
All right, well, we're gonna be back for the restart, and we'll try and we'll see what might have happened to cause the yellow. Hello, welcome back to Nazareth. The pace car has just pulled off, and we're about to go back to the green flag. Caden Williams still leads after 46 laps, as we're about to resume racing from Nazareth. Green flag is out, and the 53 did not go on the restart. He's going to maintain second, at least for now, but we'll see if Alvarez makes a play into 3. Yeah, he does. Wasting no time after that pit stop where he lost a spot. Silva trying to get around DeLuca now for third. Couple cars took the wave around on the last caution. It was Jason K and Michi Kowalska that both took the wave around to get one of their laps back. Kowalska actually did get back on the lead lap. And DeLuca is losing tons of spots now. As the 94, Casey Johnson pitted. I'm not sure as to why, but he's coming back out on the racetrack now.
Interestingly, we'll
and the caution is out. Oh, we have a big crash.
Big crash.
That is a huge crash. Oh my god. Well, one car is in the tire in the water barrels. That is a lot of cars involved. Nathan Buchanan's in it. Jason K I saw was in it. JT Boyd was in the barriers. Christian Ross, Zoe Moore, Derek McNamara was flipping. Mikoto Iwai, Bart Seiler. Diodon Tosima Winter. Davenport. Aya. Bingleton is pitting. I'm not sure if he was involved or if... Oh, he was definitely involved. He's got side damage. Well,
was sure something.
that was an accident. Well, you know what they say, cautions breed cautions. And I believe that was an example of that right there.
Yep.
Nobody comes to pit road aside from the damaged cars, so we'll be back for the restart. Oh, Zoe Moore checks up. They crash into the wall. Huge
Ow.
pile up.
And 1, 2 cars flipped over in that one.
I think the 7 was one of them and the
40.
40 was the other. They just got all tangled up. Right in front of the field. Nowhere for a lot of these drivers to go. JT Boyd going straight into the pit barrels. I don't know how McNamara started flipping like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's just grass or something. Caught him on that one. Ooh, yeah, maybe transition with the pavement there.
Was it the transition or was it the fact that I guess he bumped the 59 a little bit.
Maybe a mix.
Maybe a mix of the two, yeah. I want to look at some onboards. The 81 actually drove through this. Not without contact, mind you, but she did drive through it by basically bowling right through these guys.
Yeah, whatever works.
And the 99 of Vebels also saw this happen right in front of her. And you know who else? You know who else saw this?
Albright.
Our points leader, Matthias Albright.
See how close this might have been. A little bit of contact there.
Yeah.
We got through well.
Welcome back to Nazareth. 52 laps completed. We're about to start lap 54 on this restart. Caden Williams is still the leader, but he's got a hard charging Anton Alvarez right behind him. Will he be able to hold him off on this restart? Here we go. Green flag is out. And Alvarez got a very good restart. We already got cars going to the bottom. There's the breakfast trying to get past Townsend. Does Alvarez have the ability to challenge Williams? Here comes Amare trying to get past Silva. Oh, Alvarez slid up.
Ooh.
Slipped up the track. That's going to let Silva close in.
Maybe get underneath here.
Yeah, Silva's going to get underneath. Oh, Silva was trying to get underneath him.
See if he can keep the run into turn 3. Not quite.
Nope. Alvarez was able to hold him off. That
Now
24 is strong. He can hold guys off on the outside like that. He's got a fast car. Hey.
Strong and fast for certain, but consistent potentially another story.
Aletha in the 97. She's moved up to ninth place. Great run for the 97. Again, something that she would need. See Townsend going by La Breakfast. The 39's coming back to pit road, and is coming back to pit road again. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, 21 almost got the wall there.
Aletha's now going to get around La Breakfast, and the 21 is being absolutely freight trained. This is going to be the worst time to get stuck up on the outside lane, is on these restarts, because everyone's so closely bunched together, you just can't get down to the bottom.
Indeed.
Williams just ran his fastest. Williams just ran not as fast as top of the race, but very close to it.
Extremely close.
Yeah,
Certainly
literally
enough to
like.
hold off Alvarez for now.
I wonder if that 24 is just stronger on the long runs. This is a track where track position matters, like it or not. I mean, the further up the field you are, it is kind of hard to make up ground. Like, it's possible to make up ground at this track, but
Certainly
some real
Alvarez do it in the first run.
Speaking of doing some work, there's Vebelst and Gray. They were just fighting for the 13th position. Vebelst just took it away. Looks like the 99's picked up some speed. And I think another thing that's going to play into it, there's going to be a few slow lap cars that they're probably going to catch at some point if this race goes long enough. How's that going to affect things? And yeah, Alvarez is really starting to close in.
Yeah.
You can now see him within the same frame as the 63. Battle for 9th position is between Amani Wandayo and Jackson Schwiss. Schwiss we haven't really seen much out of this season, but solid run. He's solidly 19th in points, so he's going to take 9th away from the 9 of Wandayo. Alvarez lost time again that lap, so less consistent on the lap times in here after the pit stop for Anton Alvarez. Akira Tajima in the 19. He absolutely needs a good run. He hasn't had a top 20 finish since the first race of the season at Daytona Road Course. And that was a 14th place finish. So Tajima running in 7th would easily be his best finish of the year. Pretty calm now, single filed out through the field. I think these guys learned from that big wreck that we had.
Yeah.
Then again, I could also be jinxing it, so.
This is also possible, yes.
Here comes Tajima for 6th on DeLuca. 19
A bit
car.
of close quarters, but he'll make it work.
Good move by Tajima to get by the 53. Oh,
Ooh,
the 97
up the wall.
in the wall.
Fairly hard there.
Yeah, pretty good for Olathe. Alvarez is keeping Williams within sight, which I would say is probably good enough right now. Points later, Matthias Albright sitting in 15th position still. While that's fine in terms of points, Ryan Silva's running 3rd, so he would lose a lot of points of the lead, but he wouldn't lose the lead itself.
Right.
Because he came in about 16 points ahead of him.
Yep, Silva's way ahead. LeBreakfast and Olathe both in the
Olathe,
top
yeah.
dozen. Olathe, yeah.
Here comes Tajima.
My bad.
Tajima's cooking something. He's trying to get past Townsend now for the 5th position. Not quite able to do it. Not yet, anyways. I got a couple teammates back here of Schwiss and DeLuca fighting it out for 7th. Alvarez is starting to close in now on the 63. Look at that. Down to half a second, down to... He gained another 10th that lap. Yeah, the 24 is starting to kick in on the long runs here. Schwiss gets around DeLuca. So move the 70 up to 7th. These guys will still have to pit one more time, and on fuel, at least.
If where they had to pit the first time, that might come near the closing stages of the race.
Yeah. I mean, we saw what happened at Texas, where it was down to the end, and everybody made their final pit stops inside of 10 to go. Some cars made their final pit stop with like 3 to go in that race, so... The breakfast gets around DeLuca, and the 53 is dropping like a rock now. Oh, the 53 Ooh. Just got the wall pretty good.
That's certainly going to drop him a couple more spots. Starting to think the commentator's curse might have kicked in on that one for my pre-race pick.
Yeah, maybe. Latanya Gray got around Mauricia Vebelst. Those two seem to always just be magnetic to each other, and I don't know why. It was pretty much the whole race at Texas. Where a much slower off-pace Vebelst was staying right behind the 81 most of the race. And here they're battling for common ground. They both have clean cars.
One thing that certainly played out different in this second stage of the race compared to the first is that the first we saw Caden Williams out front and then sort of a pack from second on back. This time it's the top two that have pulled away by now almost 2 seconds from the rest of the field.
Yeah. A lot more split past the 18, and the 58 got the wall.
Drifted. It's gonna let the 29 by potentially here.
94 of Casey Johnston came to pit road. I'm not sure why, but he's gonna drop. He's gonna drop at least 2 laps down, I believe.
Yeah.
No, he'll be 1 down, I think. Well, let's see. Yeah, he's 1 down. Okay.
Either way, certainly hasn't been the best day for them. Kind of not seemingly too connected to wrecks or anything. Just not a great handling or car or something issues with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that team needs some good momentum too. Down at 31st in points. Here goes Tajima trying to pass Amare. That's going to put the 19 into the top 5. Interesting to note, the 70 car has now jumped up the fastest lap leaderboard. Schwiss up to 3rd. Alvarez can keep pace with Williams is the thing. Like, the 24 is not slower.
It's just certainly not that much quicker.
He's just not really been able to be consistent.
Yeah, or really get quite to the back bumper like he had right before that first caution.
There's Aletha and Wandayo trying to get around Amari there. Now Silva's way back of these guys, like 2.2 seconds now. I guess they must have just made some good adjustments on that 63 car, because definitely looks a bit better on pace. Alvarez is closing in. Gotten closer this lap than he's gotten ever before. And on this run, at least.
Yeah.
Matthias Albright sits in 14th now. And there's Michi Kowalska, who made a pit stop under green earlier. And there's where DeLucas sits now. She's dropped all the way back to 12th. Might get passed by LaTanya Gray. And once again, Alvarez got close. And then he dropped back another 10th. And Adam Townsend is also having a really solid drive. Again, ever since he won it at Daytona, couldn't hang on to. He was leading at Phoenix when he got dumped from the lead, and it just has not been the same since. Ooh, I think Alvarez gained some real good time that lap. Yeah, he gained a 10th that lap.
Another 10th.
But again, Caden Williams has led all 85 laps so far. But Anton Alvarez looks like a challenger. And then he drops back another 10th.
So the cycle continues.
That's fire, man. Here goes Schwiss trying to pass Tajima. That's the fight for 5th spot right there. And the 70 car is going to try and take it. They're going to stay side by side down the back straightaway. Schwiss will take it. So up to 5th is the 70. And again, Alvarez got to within 4/10, just about 4/10. See, that's the thing, is I wonder if Alvarez just gets in the 63's dirty air. And it hurts him.
Certainly seems to be the case.
What are they cooking?
As I recall, even as Alvarez was moving up the field, it certainly wasn't quick to pass the other drivers for position. It certainly took a few laps of trial and error before he finally got to the inside.
Yeah. But here, you just can't really break past the 4/10 mark.
Yeah.
He might need another restart, honestly.
Well, either restart or see what happens when we get to the final pit stops, but that may
That
be too late
too.
to do anything. We know for sure is they certainly have still a much better car than the rest of the field. The gap over 3 seconds back to Silva in 3rd.
I'd be curious how the 70 or the 97 are going to work their way into this. Because those two appear to be pretty fast. They're just still in the field. They're just still kind of mired back in the field right now.
Yep. Certainly don't seem quite to have the in the field pace that Alvarez did early on to get up to second.
Yeah. They're going to catch a lap car here, so this might be what Alvarez needs. If Williams gets held up by the 10, that could help him. That's the 10 of Joshua Lyons they're about to catch up to, so... Tanya Gray and Matthias Albright, fighting here for 13th spot. DeLuca just had a terrible restart and has not recovered. She's dropped back into 12th and just hasn't been able to recover from there. And yeah, Alvarez is really starting to drop time now. Bingleton has apparently blown up, so the 22 car is out of the race.
Indeed.
The 8 car apparently just retired for their tire issue earlier, by the way, so...
And here's a 10 car.
Now they've caught the lap car. This could be exactly what Alvarez wants.
Might be what he needs if he's dropped a couple of tenths here.
Yeah, but Williams is going
to
go right by Lyons, so... While he might gain a little bit, the thing is Lyons will still have to... Alvarez will also have to pass the 10 car. And the 10 car is being a little less lenient with the 24 here, so...
Got the run in turn 3, but yeah, that certainly... I think that probably cost him another tenth there.
It was .72 back before they caught him. He's going to end up .81 back, so yeah. Almost exactly a tenth. And here's some decent battles. Wow, Townsend's really been shuffled. Got passed by Schwiss and Tajima and Olathe, and now might see Amare go by. So Joshua Lyons has been put a lap down, so he is the first car a lap down. If we get a caution, he would get the free pass. Now, curiously, some of these damaged cars could theoretically stay out a bit longer on fuel than the 24 and 63.
Yeah. Surprisingly, some of the fairly damaged cars haven't really seemed to have dropped as much pace as someone like the 10 car.
Yeah. Vebels has gotten back past Kowalska for 15th. We might see Wandayo try and get past Townsend, and we have reached the Centennial mark, lap 100 of the race. And yeah, it's 4 seconds from Williams to third place Ryan Silva, although that's under challenge.
High, yeah, here comes 70.
Here comes Jackson Schwiss.
I have a turn 3 advantage here.
He'll have the bottom and he'll take the spot away. Jackson Schwiss the third. When we might see Silva drop fourth to his teammate Tajima. Tajima finally having the solid showing that he absolutely has needed. And a top 5 would be absolutely welcome for that team. And Silva now stuck on the outside. Gonna drop back a lot. Alvarez
is closed in.
Yeah, under 4 tenths now. Wonder if Williams got a bit too relaxed. Or if maybe Alvarez might have been saving his stuff.
Might be. Another tiny bit there, and they're about to catch 2 lap cars this
They're
time.
going to catch a couple more lappers down. That would be the 98 and the 12, who both have pretty significant damage.
Certainly for Ross, another day that makes that Homestead win seem like more and more of an outlier.
Yeah. Definitely doesn't help when you have to be top 20 to get the wild card, and he's like 38th.
38th, yep.
Alvarez is pretty close. Down to 3/10. Down to 3/10 back now. But I don't know if that's going to be close enough to make a move. He is able to get the bottom, run down on the bottom a little more consistently, though. These guys have caught the lap car of the 10 now, so...
And of course, made that a bit of a bad time to check the pace comparison, but it does seem like Swiss has at least pulled away a few tenths from 19, and certainly a little more there with the 10 holding up a bit.
Yeah. Well, here comes Alvarez's next big thing. We'll see if he can get some help.
2 lap cars, double the potential for larger mistakes.
Yep. And yeah, he's going to get held up pretty good here. He's not going to be able to get by them in turn 1. Or in turn 2,
not
excuse
a
me.
good spot to catch them.
Williams really had to slow up. Alvarez is going to close in a ton.
Yeah, that's what's crucial about closing in there. Alvarez is going to have, if he can stay close enough, will have the easy path by the lap cars as long as 63 is able to get by them.
If Williams is able to bowl the way, yeah. Although Alvarez really didn't get by the 98 very cleanly.
Yeah, he's not going to have quite the same benefit on the 12 car here, most likely.
Interesting point here, but the 70 has closed in about 2/10 on the leaders.
Yeah.
And yeah, now the 12 sits in between the 63 and the 24. "109 laps completed at Nazareth. Caden Williams has led every single one of them. Can he maintain the lead for the rest of the race and hang on to win it all?
We'll see for sure. Certainly still pit stops on the way.
Yeah, there's still probably the likelihood of pit stops. Whoa, there's some shuffling here. I think Vebelst and Gray might have made a bit of contact. Yeah, the that's the thing I'm noticing about the 24 is he's definitely fast enough to keep up with the 63. He can run faster laps, but he just can't really get through the dirty air that well. Like, Alvarez just isn't being helped by that. We got a decent battle here. That's for 18th. Colton Wilson against Indiana. Great side-by-side racing in the midfield. Ignore that it's the only one. Don't pay attention to that.
Worth noting that West has caught up to the leaders. Each of the last 3 laps brought the gap back within 4 seconds again.
Ooh. Yeah, Swiss is running consistently faster laps, so...
Yeah.
That
I know
could
it's fast enough, but certainly could, if you can navigate these lap cars well and continue closing in, it could bring the potential for a good stop to put him right with the top 2.
Yeah, same goes for the 19. The 19's also been able to make up that ground, kind of been following the 70 here.
Certainly, at the very least, have pulled away from 5th on back.
Yeah, and 19 was actually lapping in the 27-second bracket, which is high end pretty much for this stage of the race. Now Swiss is going to have to navigate through the lap traffic. It is a tall order.
Held up a little bit by Ross here. Can he get the run into turn 3?
The 12 car is pitting and the 97 is pitting.
Oh, here we go. This might be the start of something at least.
I think Aletha's trying to short pit here.
Even more crucially as that other lap car of the 12 getting out of the way from the 70.
Yeah. And that'll really help.
Lost a bit of time getting by the 98, but still within 4 seconds here.
Still, yeah, the gap is a lot smaller than it was before everybody caught the lappers. 55 and Naomi Davenport has come to pit road. I wonder if Aletha trying to short pit here, trying to gain the advantage on tires, or maybe they're fixing a ton of damage. It appears they're fixing a lot of damage on that car. Here comes the 70. Swiss coming to pit road early.
That's an interesting call for sure with the pace that he had.
And Silva's in, as well as the 23 of Ricky Percat. There's Aletha coming out of pit road. I mean, Aletha's going to make up tons of time, but Aletha went, I believe, 2 laps down on her pit stop. So here comes the 58 of Amare. Alvarez is in. Williams is still out on track for another lap here.
Yep, right in the thick of pit stops here, and Alvarez attempting the undercut, which might be what he needs to do in order to get this win.
Yeah. And, you know, all these guys coming to pit road now pretty much negates how much ground the 70 and the 97 are going to make up. 53's out there. 63, I think, stayed out another lap. Here comes Alvarez exiting the pit road. And you got to be careful on this on the access exit lane here. Williams is in. Tajima stayed out, so we will see our first lead change of the day right here. Akia Tajima will lead a lap and get a bonus point, so Williams will not get a clean sweep of every lap led. Alvarez just unlapped himself. So I'm curious as to where the 63 will come out, because this 24 did get out ahead of Bit of a slow transition there. But Alvarez did get out ahead of Swiss. And Tajima continues to lead, so... Where is Alvarez? Here comes the 63 exiting the pit lane.
It looks
It's going to
like
be very tight.
Yeah.
But Williams will have it. Tajima and Wandayo just came to pit road. Those were the last two holdouts. Let's see what kind of adjustments have been made. And Swiss, look at where the 70 is. He's closed right back. He's closed a ton.
Must have had some sort of good stop there.
Very good stop in the 24. Very close to the 63 now.
Yeah. Williams still certainly needing to warm up his tires a bit, so this is where Alvarez needs to strike the most. Certainly Ross's lap car might affect it here. Williams goes wide.
Williams went wide. Alvarez looks slow. Here comes the 24.
Here's the move with the warmer tires. Alvarez to the lead.
Anton Alvarez out front. Finally, after 125 laps, Alvarez takes the lead from Caden Williams. And don't look now, but the 70 is even closer. He's made the gap 1 second.
Yeah.
Gonna pass the lap car, the 55 of Naomi Davenport. The 97 having to make that long stop really, really hurt her. She's dropped back to 19th place now. I think having the fresher tires is probably going to help Williams in the end here. Matthias Albright is up to 7th spot. So that team had a great stop.
Good stop, good pace, and that's certainly, especially being right behind Silva, is what's going to help him keep a solid points lead coming out of the day here.
Swiss has gotten by Davenport, and he's starting to reel in the leaders. Look at the 70 car. Turned it up when he needed to the most. Williams isn't letting Alvarez go, though. 63's staking with him.
Yep, just needs to stay within range and let these tires warm up to him, and then we'll see what happens.
But you know, the wild card in all of this is the 70. Because the 70 went from being about 4 seconds back on that pit stop. He gained about 3 seconds just in the pit stop alone.
I will say something working up against him. I do believe he pit earlier than Alvarez by a couple of laps.
He pitted earlier than both of these two. I think he pitted earlier than Alvarez by 1 lap. And Williams stayed out about 2 laps after Alvarez pitted.
Yep.
Yeah, the 63
now
is there.
Now we're starting to see all of these drivers properly warmed up on the tires. Swiss has fallen back a bit, and now Williams might be closing in.
I see a battle for 11th between Vebelst and Townsend. These two don't have great history when battling for positions. And
Townsend high.
Vebelst just pinned Townsend behind the lap car of the 94. Casey Johnston.
Yeah, not a lap car.
Oh yeah, he is on the lead lap. I didn't realize that. He pitted. I just realized he pitted earlier, and that actually, as long as if he stays out to the end of the race, he could get a solid finish.
Yeah.
I thought he pitted in the cycle, but no, he stayed out. Yeah, they've caught the 98 again. They're going to put the 98, I think, 2 laps down here. And Alvarez is going to get down to the bottom, but he's not going to get enough
quite inside,
to get to the inside.
63 drifted a bit wide, but kind of mistakes from both in that corner.
The 94 has some pretty worn tires, so I don't expect him to be challenging. His tires are pretty well shot right now. Alvarez can't get by Ross.
Look here, can't get there again.
See if he can try to force him wide through turn 1, but he can't do it. He forced Williams wide, though. Williams got the wall a little bit.
Very slightly. That's going to allow Swiss to catch him.
And the 70 car has gained now down to within 6/10. Alvarez finally gets to the inside of the 98.
Yep. But close enough that, yeah, here comes Williams. Should maybe still get to the inside.
Yep.
That's going to minimize the lap car impact for really all three of these guys if they continue to get through just right.
Yeah.
So we'll stay in a three-car battle for the win here as we close in on 20 to go.
4th place, Asher Amare, all the way back, 6 seconds back. Then it's Silva, Albright. Or excuse me, it's Tajima, Silva, Albright, Percat, Wandayo, and Vebos that make up the rest of the top 10. Anton Alvarez, now he needs to hold off Caden Williams.
And that's a position he hasn't really been in yet this race, as being a driver not the fastest in his group and having to hold off someone else for position.
Yeah, he was challenging Williams pretty much the entire last run. Now
the roles are reversed.
Yeah, now the tables have turned. And it's Alvarez against Williams, with Swiss lurking in behind, hoping that something happens to those two.
Williams went a bit wide there again.
Williams, I think, just gets a little ahead of himself. Drives it wide. But he's still able to keep pace. Pretty good pace, too. And they're not going to catch another lap car till they get to the 21, who is lead lap. And he is on pace. He was running up towards the front earlier, so I'm not sure why he dropped so far back. "19 laps to go from Nazareth. Caden Williams." I don't know if Isaac keeps this lore up, but I'm pretty sure that the lore is Caden Williams has never won any race in anything, so he's hungry for one. He's been fast. He's had the dominant car. And now he's the chaser, trying to chase down the 24 of Alvarez. Alvarez, if he can get a win, it'll definitely move him into the top 10 in points, and it'll definitely get him absolutely in contention for a wildcard spot, even if he drops out of the top 10. And a great run for Matthias Albright, who's on pace to get his 6th top 10 finish in a row. It's going to be something he's going to be pressed to keep. 94 just came to pit road, so it appears they've given up on trying to take those tires all the way.
Yeah.
They pitted a lot earlier than I expected them to, honestly. I thought they'd come in around lap 130. They came in around lap 115, 120. 15 laps to go. Do either of these guys have anything for each other? And if Williams and Alvarez get to battling each other, well, that's what the 70 car who's sitting all right behind these two wants to see. Because he's just sitting there licking his chops, hoping these two start fighting each other. Oh, the 63 went way wide and won. That's not going to help. And the 23 just doinked the wall. Very nice. Been a pretty relaxing race, honestly. This is not amazingly exciting, but it's got passing. It's got just the right amount of action, I would say. It feels like a short track race. That's how I would put it.
Certainly. I certainly agree with that. With perhaps a bit of an exception for that large accident earlier, but for the most part.
Well, that's the thing, is like this feels like it's felt like the kind of race I would expect from a track like this.
Yeah.
Not a ton of passing, but enough passing to where it's tolerable to watch. See DeLuca there fighting with Wilson. 13th spot up at stake. Kansas City and the 92 of Kowalska has just absolutely nuked it. She did make it to pit road. That's a 997 engine failure on the 92. She did make it back to pit road, so we will stay green. Ooh, the 63's there. 10 laps to go. Alvarez really had trouble that time trying to make it through, and now Williams
back bumper
is right there. But Alvarez gets a great pull off the corner. Williams is going to have to wait it out. It's going to be this is going to be a tough pass to make.
Certainly not.
And
Goes
he
wide
drove
like that
wide.
again.
Yeah.
That might put him in the range of only having one chance left at this.
Might have a fight for fourth between Tajima and Amare.
Yeah, I've been eyeing that.
Yeah, here comes Tajima.
Interestingly enough, currently would kind of be the battle for 36th in points, so both of these drivers having great days when they most need it.
I mean, I don't think it'd be 36th in points after the amount of points they'll get from this race, but yeah, pretty much.
At least where they came in.
63's caught right back up to the 24. Williams seems to be having trouble getting through turn 1, honestly.
Yeah.
Through the dogleg on the front straightaway. I mean, I guess it's turn 1, because you have to slow down for it, but... Oh, the 9 car had a coolant leak and had to come to pit road. Tough luck for Amani Wandayo. Yeah, she was in the top 10. And that's going to drop her finish well out. Alvarez just trying his hardest to make these tires work as much as he can. 5 laps to go for Anton Alvarez. And once again, Jackson Swiss.
Yeah.
Doing a good job just sitting back. Third place. He'll take it if he can. Here comes Williams. Got a great run. Couldn't do anything with it. But he's going to try it into one here.
Peeking inside. Can't.
Ooh, they touched a little bit.
Very close, right to the back bumper.
He's there. Williams is there,
Yeah.
trying to get to him.
Any decent run off the corner here, and he should have a chance in the 3. Or I guess 4.
No, Alvarez blocked him. It is 3, I would say.
Okay.
Because it's 3, and then this little that little flick right there is usually turn 4. 3 laps to go. Williams goes wide. Almost got the wall. I think he'll have I think he'll have one more shot.
Yeah, maybe.
That was his best opportunity there, though, and he just couldn't make it stick. And these guys might catch a lap car.
Yeah, that's going to be borderline. There's only 2 laps to go, but
Lap car impeding the finish would be really funny. 2 laps to go. Anton Alvarez trying to hang on. Caden Williams giving it all he can. Great corner that time. Closed up quite a bit. White flag. 1 lap to go.
Can he do turn 1 well this time?
No.
No, he can't.
He slid way out of it. That was almost his worst turn 1. And that's probably going to seal it for Alvarez.
Yeah, they're not going to catch that 10 car.
Alvarez is just going to cruise it home now. Anton Alvarez will take the checkered flag and win from Nazareth. And a great finish for Matthias Albright. 7th place, 6th top 10 in a row. All right. Well, that definitely. I thought that was. I quite enjoyed that race. It was a little. It was a little strategic. But I thought it was a really fun race for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly agree with the assessment that felt a lot like a short track race in most senses of the word, and certainly an impressive run throughout the race from Alvarez there, methodically working his way up to 2nd, waiting for the strategy aspect to kick in, and got the win from there.
17 cars wound up finishing on the lead lap. Matthias Albright should retain his points lead. I think he'll only lose 1 point to Silva. Neither of them led a lap, and Silva finished one spot ahead. So it should be about 15 points between Albright and Silva. LeBreakfast won't gain any ground, and Aletha I don't think is going to gain any ground either. And 5th place Dick Ball, well, he blew
Fortunate
up.
engine issues.
Unfortunate. He was 39th, so. Alright, well, we'll be back either Thursday or Friday in the middle of the night from Motegi in Japan. It's our 2nd international race and our first outside of the Americas. So we'll be in Japan for a race. How's that? That's kind of fun.
Heck yeah.
At the big 1.5-mile track there that's got some decent banking, but it's also got different little ends to it. And we'll take a week off, and then we'll be back for the single car qualifying for the Harvest 300 from Indianapolis, the first of our 2 premier events. And after that, And the interesting thing about that is that it was announced that extra entries will be permitted for team owners who want to enter an extra car. You can do that. So, we'll see you guys later. Till next, till Motegi.